What are we looking for? Dogs.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Bird, and we're back on Bird's Eye View with it. Like always, appreciate the love and support. Please continue to like, comment, and subscribe. Start what you're doing. Smash the like button, smash subscribe button. Hop in the comment section, comment whatever you want. Of course, I'm dropping daily bangers day by day. You know we got news of the day coming out of Colorado, and we're gonna jump right into it, dog. So of course we back with another recap with this Colorado football program. As always, shout out Well Off Media, Reach the People Media, the Pregame Show, for providing us this phenomenal footage each and every day. As we all know, the Big 12 Pro Day was last week, and of course we had multiple Colorado Buffaloes in attendance that were able to help boost their draft stock for this upcoming NFL draft. As we all know, Will Shepard, Herm Smith, Travis J, BJ Green, Cardell Thomas, Chidozie Nwankwo, Shane Cokes, Levante Bentley, and of course Jimmy Horn Jr. all participated at the Big 12 Pro Day. Of course, we had some guys really represent themselves well. Obviously, you know, Jimmy Horn was able to compete at the NFL Combine, so it really wasn't much that he had to do at the Pro Day. And of course, we do have our Colorado Pro Day. That's going to be April 4th, 12:30 p.m. Mountain Time. That's going to be on NFL Network. It has been labeled as the We Ain't Hard to Find Showcase. That's a dope title. I love that title. So We Ain't Hard to Find Showcase, again, will be live on April 4th, 12:30 Mountain Time. Of course, that's 2:30 Eastern Standard Time on NFL Network in Boulder, Colorado. Of course, you'll be able to see all of our future pro buffs, Shedeur Sanders, Travis Hunter, Shiloh Sanders, the list goes on and on. They will be competing in that, and of course, we'll be able to see that live. Let's get back to, of course, that Big 12 Pro Day. We did have some guys that definitely stood out and helped boost their draft stocks for sure. Of course, Levante Bentley, his shuttle was a 4.4, which would have been fifth best at the Combine. His vertical jump was 29.5. His bench was 25, which would have been second best at the Combine. And then his broad jump was 9.2. So, of course, Bentley definitely made him some money for sure. Chidozie finished with a 5.6 in the 40. His vert was 23. The bench was 26, which would have been tied for fifth best at the Combine. And then his broad was an 8.1. BJ Green, which I love what BJ Green was able to do for the Big 12 Pro Day, 4.7 in the 40-yard dash, which would have been around middle of the pack in the NFL Combine. His vert was a 30-inch. Of course, he had a 7.33 in the three-cone, and then his 10.2 broad would have been eighth best out of the 20 that did it at the NFL Combine for the defensive end. So, of course, BJ Green definitely, you know, made him some money as well, too. Let's see exactly where he will fall, whether it will be towards the end, you know, day 3, or some of these guys are going to be high-priority free agents. It is what it is. Some of these guys will be high priority free agents, but they're still going to get every opportunity they need and that they want to be able to make a roster, i.e. kind of like how Xavier Weaver was able to do. He was a high priority free agent, and of course you see what he was able to do, make the roster. So definitely excited for these guys here. Will Shepard, 4.59 in the 40-yard dash. His vert, 38.5, was actually second best out of all the receivers at the Pro Day, and it would have been tied for seventh best at the NFL Combine. His broad jump, 10.6, would have been 12th best out of the 33 wide receivers that did the broad jump at the Combine as well. Of course, we all expect Will Shepard to hear his name called for sure. So it's going to be fun to see, of course, Shedeur, Travis, Shiloh, you know, the rest of our Colorado Buffaloes that are pursuing the NFL compete on April 4th. And, of course, we'll be able to see it live on NFL Network. It's definitely going to be a great time to be able to watch our guys compete and take their games to the next level. Let's keep it rolling, man. Of course, we got some recruiting news here. Brody McWhorter, of course, I made a video on him, I think about a month ago. Obviously, we spoke about this young man, 4-star quarterback, 6'2", 205 out of Cartersville, Georgia in that 2026 class. He is a top 25 quarterback in the country, obviously a top 45 overall player coming out of state of Georgia. Obviously, we mentioned that he consistently delivers the football, a very solid spinner of the ball, very good deep ball accuracy, can also get it done with his legs as well, has shown consistent ability to extend plays with his legs while keeping his eyes downfield. You know, definitely overall a solid runner that would definitely keep defenses on their toes. Of course, he had dropped the top 7, which was Auburn, Colorado, Mississippi State, Indiana, Syracuse, Wisconsin, and West Virginia. As we know, he was previously committed to West Virginia. Of course, he decommitted from the Mountaineers. Now he just dropped the top 5, which will be Mississippi State, Indiana, Colorado, Auburn, and Wisconsin rounds out his top 5. As you see, he's taken out West Virginia and he's taken out Syracuse from that original top 7. So we'll see exactly what transpired there. He will be committing on May 15th. I know he has some spring visits lined up. He went to Indiana on the 11th through the 13th of this month. He just left Mississippi State the 21st and the 22nd. He'll go to Auburn this weekend, the 28th and the 29th. He'll come to Colorado April 9th through the 12th. We'll see exactly what transpired with that young man, but we did fall in line in his top 5. And again, he will be committing May the 15th. We got another young man here, Carson Sneed. Of course, I did a video on him a few weeks ago as well. Of course, 6'6", 245, coming out of the state of Nashville, Tennessee. He's in that 2026 class. Top 15 tight end in the country, top 10 overall player. Coming out of the state of Tennessee, of course, this young man is verbally committed to Tennessee. He's been committed to the Volunteers since last August. Now, of course, he's still keeping his options open for his recruitment. He visited Boulder, obviously, not too long ago. He visited Boulder, had a great unofficial visit. Now he has inked in an official visit. That will be on June 13th. He has an official visit with some other schools as well, too. UNC on April 25th, UCLA May 13th, Ole Miss May 30th, Miami June 6th, and then Tennessee June 20th. But we fall in line June 13th. So let's see if we can reel in another 4-star prospect coming out of the state of Tennessee. He's a big body tight end, man. He has some things that you just can't teach. And he's definitely a red zone mismatch for sure. He does a great job finding a soft spot in zone coverage. And he's shown the ability to be a willing blocker as well, too. So I like this possibility here of bringing this young man to Boulder, Colorado. Of course, we're going to have to flip him from Tennessee, but that's something that we could definitely do, and it looks like he's really interested. So, of course, we'll see exactly how it all transpired, man. There's a lot of 4 and 5 stars that are interested in this Colorado football program. Of course, another quarterback, 4-star Oscar Rios, who we're also high on as well. He does have an official visit set the weekend of the 20th. Of course, he mentioned that he's just excited to see what Colorado has out there and a place where, he'll be able to get developed and play right away. Obviously, Rios is also considering Arizona, Oklahoma State, and Utah as well. Of course, 5-star wide receiver Sedarian Morgan, who is the number 3 wide receiver in the country, has Colorado in his top 6 as well. He mentioned how he was excited to meet Coach Prime and the staff and also get to Colorado and meet the players and see the campus. He also mentioned that there is a potential fit for him because he would bring that rare combination of size and speed to our receiver room. Of course, 4-star wide receiver Jace Matthews is also going to visit in May as well. 4-star wide receiver CJ Sadler out of Detroit, Michigan has been to Boulder. He also likes what he's seen also, the facilities, the coaching staff. He believes Coach Prime is really building something. He loves how the staff treats our players, how they let them be them. And that's the best thing that you can do is be yourself. So, of course, we're right there in the mix when it comes to a lot of these blue chip recruits. And it's not just the skill position guys. It's the trench guys as well, too. I mean, you look at the 2 Colorado products, Brett Kolojay and Deacon Schmidt, both coming from the state of Colorado. Of course, Brett mentioned that what excites him is seeing his former teammates excel in the program, and the track CU is on is very exciting. He also mentioned the opportunity to come back home to Boulder, which is only 45 minutes away from his house. He also currently plays for IMG. As you all know, we have that IMG to Boulder pipeline going on, so we do have that in place as well. Of course, Deacon Schmidt, I mentioned him, the number 1 player in the state of Colorado, the offensive tackle that just bulldozes opposing defenders. I mean, if you haven't seen the video that I did on him, please go watch that, dog. I mean, he is literally driving defensive guys 15, 20, sometimes 25 yards downfield. I mean, he is a legit offensive prospect in this 2026 class, man. I mean, it's going to be fun. Of course, even on the defensive side of the ball, man, I mean, we got a lot of guys that we're high on. Of course, bringing in a defensive line coach like Domatai Peko, right? So you already know we got defensive line guys that are definitely interested in coming to this program. James Johnson is one, of course. We mentioned that he's, the number 1 player at the defensive line position and how he's interested in Colorado. He has us in his top list. James mentioned that what makes Colorado a potential fit is he liked how Coach Prime rebuilt the program and made Colorado a better school. He also went to the same school that Coach Prime graduated from, that North Fort Myers High School. James Johnson played there in 2024. I know he just recently transferred to Miami Northwestern High School. he's going to finish his senior year out there. But yeah, in 2024, he went to the same exact high school that Coach Prime went to. So, of course, he mentioned that. Of course, Coach Pecco's son, Joseph Pecco, who is a highly coveted defensive lineman in this class as well, too. He said what excites him about Colorado is the NFL background with the staff, which is one of the most experienced. He said what makes them a fit for him is the culture of the Buffs and the way Coach Livingston operates his defense. And of course, his father is a defensive line coach, so we're right there in the mix with him without question. Another defensive line prospect, Tufanua Umu Kayas, I hope I said your name right. He's a defensive line prospect, 6'3", 300 pounds, out of Inglewood, Colorado. He has a long list of options as well, a long list: Tennessee, Auburn, USC, Texas, Miami, just to name a few of those schools. Of course, this young man also mentioned, the fact that being able to possibly stay home. He said what gets him pumped up about potentially playing under Coach Prime and the Buffs is a development. He mentioned that, with Coach Prime being an amazing coach and having so much knowledge, he said it's exciting to think about how much he could learn from him, as well as the other coaching staff, Coach Pecco, Coach Sapp. He said CU would be a great fit for him because of the two-way player opportunity. He said having played offensive line and defensive line, getting a shot to do it at the next level would definitely be amazing. He said CU is an amazing program, and he's honored to be able to play there. But he's keeping his options open for now, so all of the schools that are giving him an opportunity to play at the next level are in the running. And, of course, we got some linebackers in play. We know the number one linebacker, Tyler Atkinson, who, of course, we're high on as well. And, he's been talking to Coach Prime and the coaching staff. And obviously, we're expecting to have the 5-star out this spring as well. And of course, for the DBs, Dorian Barney is a cornerback that we're definitely high on. And, he's one of our favorites regardless of the position. Coming out of Carrollton, Georgia, former teammates with Julian Juju Lewis. Of course, he mentioned being able to be coached by the best to ever play the position, and learning a lot from him is what stands out to Dorian. So we can see exactly how it all transpires. Again, big shout out to the pregame show, Uncle Nilly and Big Dog Chico as well, man. But now keep it long. Just want to bring you guys another phenomenal update. Please continue to like, comment, and subscribe. You know what time it is, dog. Bird's eye view, man.